It is 4:30 p.m. on Monday in Accra. Students and workers are heading home after a long day. At various bus stops, people have crowded, waiting for a bus to their destination. A vehicle finally arrives, while the crowd struggle just to secure seats for themselves. After a fierce struggle, the strong secure seats with a sigh of relief and satisfaction. This is Kwame Nkrumah Circle. The situation here is indifferent. However, there is a twist as empty vehicles are loading, but passengers do not get on board due to high pricing by drivers. On a normal day, the fare to Pokwase is 6 cedis. However, they are charging 8 cedis and 10 cedis because of the traffic situation. Some passengers share their sentiments.
We always find it difficult when we go home. And from Circle to Amasaman is the price is 6 cedis, but the drivers and the mates started taking 10 cedis whenever it's even. So this is what we've been facing around this place, and it has been something that people have been fighting about it every day and day out, every evening. So we want the government or whoever, GPRTU, any transport union, whatsoever, they should tell me the police, the military, everywhere, wherever they are.
Above 3, 4.
Around 3 p.m. to 5 p.m., they increase the prices when there are lots of people around. For instance, from Circle to Amasaman or Pokwase, they charge 10 cedis instead of 6 cedis. For me, I always wait till I'm to pay the normal fare. Now that there are only few people, they are taking the normal fare. They usually do this on Fridays.
Usually sometimes we don't have tea fares, right? And then we come around and we're like, I'm going to Amasaman, so can you pay my fare for me? Like, can you help me out with my fare? And then if it's reasonable, your friend is like, sure, why not, hop on. But if it's increased so high, then I guess that someone is reluctant to help the other person.
A bus conductor, Pakwisi, explains the reasons behind the high pricing.
The reason for the increment of the lorry fare is that the Amasaman road is still under construction and causes heavy traffic jam, which makes them spend more hours on their journey. In the afternoon, we charge the normal fare, which is 6 cedis, but from 4 p.m., lots of passengers come and they have no option than to board the car. Sometimes they get angry and altercations ensue between the maids and passengers when they are almost at their destination.
It is 3 p.m. here at Annipah station, and there are empty vehicles parked here waiting for passengers to get on board.
But by 6 p.m., it gets harder to find vehicles and passengers get worried. Why does this happen? Are drivers scared to drive at night? Or do passengers finish work late? Some drivers share their thoughts.
The reason there are empty vehicles from 12 to 2 p.m. is that passengers often claim to be in a hurry and opt to hail cars from the roadside. This has become an advantage to those roadside drivers who convey passengers to Pokwase and Amasaman. During the 4 p.m. rush hour, workers and students struggle to find car by the roadside, leading them to come here instead. Because of the long queue is that from 3 to 4 p.m., workers have finished their day and returning home. Sometimes, we spend 1 hour 30 minutes in traffic before returning. So when passengers arrive, they have to wait. Also, to top of why most of the drivers in the station close work very early, I can say that closing time is at individual driver's discretion. Whilst one may choose to stay here for a long time, others may close early. I must also say that Ghana's road networks are also in a poor condition, and this is one of the contributing factors that delay us when returning.
However, there is a turn in the situation from 6 p.m. going. That is when the passengers themselves come here to wait for vehicles. Speaking to some stranded passengers, they spoke about how the situation has been affecting them.
We close around 4 in school. So when you get here, because there's no car, and then there are a lot of people here, we don't get car early, and then we don't get home too early. So we don't get time to study. So we wake up around 4, come to school, and then we close around 4, come here. There are a lot of people here, we don't get car, so we don't go home early, and then it affects our studies.
So probably say Accra side, and I struggle a lot to get home most times, especially when I get to barrier. When I get to barrier, there are a lot of traffic over there to get to Ofori. So it can take maybe 2 hours before I get a car to Ofori. So maybe if by this time around 6, I could get home around 10 or 11.
Only come here to take when going on, and I would say it's not easy at all. Because I come here around 6, and then earliest I leave here is around 8 p.m. Getting a car here is very difficult, and it's really hard getting home, all this stress. Now coming to stand in a long queue waiting for a car, like the hours are too much.
Every time I come here, I come by the time of 5:30 or sometimes to 4. So I have to join the line before it reaches my turn, and I take the car and I go home. And it really takes time for me. Sometimes when I leave here, it's about 7 o'clock before I leave here. And when I go home too, I have to prepare. I have to do my preparation for tomorrow. And I don't get time to learn.
We sat down with the second trustee of the Ghana Private Road Transport Union, Odawna Branch, Alhaji Hakim Yusuf, to understand the cause of the situation.
And so about 4, 5, 6, 7 corner. I'm not probably a point.
The reason why there are long queues in the evening is that most people are returning home from work around 4 to 6 p.m. There are many cars on the road causing delays for drivers, resulting to long queues. I don't think anything can be done because it is a rush hour. Just as we struggle to get car in the morning, it even brings about traffic. So if I should make a point, I would say that traffic is a striking cause of the long queue here in the evening.
Haji Yusuf also emphasized the security measures that have been put in place to safeguard passengers who board the station's car.
That is why it is safer to board cars at the station, because it is secure and well lit. Also, the authorities are here to ensure the safety of passengers against theft. Picking a station's car is better than picking it at the roadside. All misplaced items are kept and returned to their owners.
The car station is safe. We are still outside.
So this is the struggle we go through every day to get vehicles to our destination. Even though I'm getting my car right now, lots of people still remain here waiting and will wait for hours to get vehicles to their destination.